Look at your little audience in the background, your little peanut gallery.
Just me and a few of my friends, my buddy Shawn Mendes, Posty back there, the beat.
Homies.
Yeah. Hey, how old do you think Shawn Mendes is in that picture? You were talking about that earlier.
We talk about like how I get upset how they sexualize some of these artists, and it's usually the females. He can't be more than 19 in that photo, and he has no shirt on. No wonder he struggles with mental health issues.
I gotta look up how old Shawn Mendes is.
Well, I think now he's like 23 or something, right? 22?
Yeah.
But that's an old photo because that's an old Post Malone photo and an old Bieber photo. They don't have Bieber.
He's only 24. You got to figure that was probably taken a couple of years ago, maybe 22, 21.
Yeah, they don't have Bieber.
Even then, he's still a kid.
They don't have Bieber shirtless, and as thin as he seems, he's pretty ripped as a kid, too.
Okay. Go over a few things that are wrong here. First of all.
Okay, you're only showing his bottom half right now.
2 belt buckles?
He's a rock star.
You only need one.
What's hanging from his neck?
Then you got this right here. This is a cleverly placed necklace of silver dye. So right now, 2, 4, 5, 4, 5. That's 10, 14, 18, 20. It's 20.
2, 4, 5, 4, 5. That must mean something.
It means 20.
Why does he have those exact numbers on there? Like Taylor's
his favorite number is 20.
That, huh?
His favorite number is 20.
No, it's not.
I don't know. And then right down here, I don't know what this is.
So
at first, I thought it was like a microphone for a webcam.
I thought it was a microphone too, but then he said it looks like bolts or nuts. And so when I walked in, I go, if somebody walked into our studio right now, you're staring at Shawn Mendes going, are those nuts?
And yes, they are in fact nuts.
Yes.
2 little ones right here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 larger nuts right here, surrounded by the 2 little nuts.
Well, and then there's a nut talking about it.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
You completely missed that. All right, we have Oktoberfest tickets on the air. Oktoberfest is going to be cool at Decibel Brewing. They're having a Stein holding contest and a costume contest. We also have Panic at the Disco tickets and a weekend in San Francisco.
Yeah, autographed guitar, autographed vinyl, tickets to the show, like really good tickets.
I don't remember if it's weekdays or weekends. I have to be clear. Some of you. Exactly what you're winning. You know who you are.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a lot of fun too. So, San Francisco is one of my favorite cities. I love going to San Francisco. Any chance I get, I go to the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area, which is weird. Like I don't know how you are, but I'm one of 2 ways. I either love, I like being in a big city like New York. On that same token, I don't like being in a big city like LA. To me, they're 2 different types of big city.
Yeah. Well, because in New York, you're walking everywhere. That's why it's different. And in LA, you're always just sitting in traffic.
See, to me, New York traffic feels like traffic with a purpose, like you're going somewhere. When I'm in LA and I'm in traffic, I just feel like I'm stuck with other tourists or just with people kind of going nowhere.
I feel like the New Yorker traffic, the New Yorkers are not very polite, but the LA people are snobs. And I would rather have rude people than snobby people.
Yeah, no, 100%. With the last
know they're jerks, like they don't care. And then LA, it's like they think we owe them something, and I hate that.
So we were in New York, like about 2.5 years ago. When we were there on one of the mornings, like on a Thursday morning, the hotel we were staying at was right along a busy walking way for people to go to work, and I wanted to like kind of feel what it was like to be in the middle of that. So I just slipped into the crowd that was heading to work, and I've never felt more insignificant in my entire life. Like people were like shoulder checking you as they were passing you, but just because you were in their way and they needed to be somewhere, and that was it, and outside of that, they didn't care. But if you didn't keep up with the flow of traffic, you were going to get trampled.
We went to New York when I was little. I don't remember much about it, but I do remember my sister was about to cross the street and a car, like a random lady goes, "You can't do that here." Even when the sign says go, you still look both ways and wait your turn. They don't care that you're a kid. They will run you over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not like, and
No.
then the kids here are a bunch of punks that'll walk right in front of your car on purpose. And I want to be like, you know, this vehicle can kill you. What are you doing? What if I didn't see you, idiot kid?
We're at you gosh darn idiot kids age.
Well, you know what other age I am? I don't want to hear your music age. So yesterday when I went to the ATM, this grown man, it's always a grown man. This grown man has his Suburban or whatever bumping while he with the windows down while he's up at the ATM. Not all of us want to hear your stupid music. And then this morning I go to the AMPM by work. I don't go to the Chevron anymore because they hire a bunch of guys who are rude to women. So I only go to the AMPM and I go there and this guy's at the pump and I get out of my car and I yell from my car, "Not everybody wants to hear your music." Like he can hear me. But why? Not everybody wants to hear your stupid music.
Did you turn it down?
He didn't hear me. His music was too loud.
You should have went over, reached in, turned it down, taken his keys and said, "You know what? You get these back when you learn how to follow directions, okay? That's when you get them back."
The same music too. Always the same. And they want their car to be bumping, right? Well, then put some new speakers in there because your bass blew the speakers out. I could hear it vibrating from out here. That isn't cool.
My buddy Kirk, when I was growing up, he had a Celica that he dumped like thousands of dollars in to get like this. He had, I don't know if they do it anymore, but he had 2 bass tubes in the back. He had a couple of amps. He had a whole nother alternator put in the car to power his whole audio system. And then, and this was in 1998, he paid, I think, like $1,000 to have a drop-down screen and a DVD player on his ceiling. The only DVD he put in there the whole time he had the car was Three Amigos. It was the only DVD he would allow to be in that DVD player.
That's the coolest thing I've heard in this entire story is that part.
It was so awesome. But he was like
guys that had like those little S10s that they would put big stereo systems in, and they also would bag them. So there would be like, not bag them. They put rods in them, not hydraulics or bags.
They put okay.
Or no,
well, we didn't do that to the Celica. Mm-hmm. The Celica wasn't bumping.
And then one of the women had a Honda, and hers was on rods, and I'm still embarrassed that I hung out with those people.
Yeah, we were a couple of times. We had people yelling out, "Nobody wants to hear your music," but we were so young that like it would scare us, and we would turn it down.
As soon as you put rods in your car, you have to get the alignment redone like every month.
I know nothing about that.
It would be cool to go to when I would with my female friend, and we would hit the light, and she would lower her Honda. That was pretty sick, though. I would never
like to have that power.
My car, like that's stupid, huh?
I want all the features on the car just to use them once, but at the end of the day, this is me in the car.
Hey, I'll give you my Venmo. You want to see my feet? You Venmo me, agent. I bet that's not your real name. Venmo, Madden Hive, $100. I'll send you my feet right now. I am not even shy about it.
Nobody ever asks for my feet.
Maybe he was asking for your feet.
I just know.
It was mine.
Agent, yep. Was it Agent. My feet?
Agent.
Were you looking for my digits?
Agent, no last name.
Agent Toes.
For real, Tiffany. Hey, no shame over here. No judgment from me.
I mean, Agent could be polite and ask everybody. Don't just ask one person. It makes us feel like there's something wrong with us.
A girlfriend of mine put herself on Feet Finder, and her screen name was From Hose to Toes. That's hella funny.
Hey, is the foot fetish thing only a man to woman thing, or are there women that like looking at men's feet?
I've never had a female ask me for feet pics. It's always been men.
It's okay. So there's no market for a 44-year-old man squishing rotten pumpkins with his feet. There's no market for a 44-year-old man stomping on half-filled milk cartons.
No, the most of the females well, I was in this one group one time and I called out a fetish that I thought was extremely weird. And there
I
was a
know what
couple
you're talking about.
who okay, the guy wanted me to hold him like a baby and change his diaper. That's not in my wheelhouse, you guys, at all. And I was in the secret women's group and I talked about it, and there was a couple women in there who came at me. You talking smack? I'm like, this is a thing? It's a thing. Hey, to each their own. It's not my thing. It's not.
I have no comment.
Tiffany, but if you do, just let me know what it says.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no, we're at work. We can't look these things up. So you look it up and you report back.
People have gotten fired for looking things up that they shouldn't have been looking up. Trust us, we know. And they'll deny it, but the history reports otherwise.
I remember thinking when I first got on when I first got on the internet, back when my dad signed us up for AOL and it was by the minute,
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking to myself, because we didn't have a computer history then, and I remember thinking to myself, gosh, what if there's some way, like there's little glowing footprints of everywhere I've been on the internet? What would my dad say? And then, history came out like a year later. I'm like, oh, there is. Be careful.
There it is. You know how much I found on people by looking up their history? A lot. It found out. So here, if you are a stalker type like I used to be, here is one thing. Here is a little note you can use. So once you get into their email, that's the hardest part. But once you're in, go up to the search button. Here's what I would do. And I would put my own name or the word wife. And then I could see what my ex-husband was saying about me or when he was talking about me with other people. All the emails with my name in it would come up. I'm brilliant. And my dad called me crazy last night. That's the first time. He's called me a lot of things. But I was talking to my sister-in-law about burning the ex-boyfriend's jersey on Facebook. Tiffany was there for that. Burning the ex-boyfriends. And my dad goes, he was mid-conversation in a whole different conversation with my brother. And I was having a conversation with my sister-in-law. And I told her that I lit this jersey on fire on Facebook. And my dad stops this conversation, goes, did you really? I go, oh, it felt so good. He goes, you're crazy.
I think that's the only one where universally people who were close to you were like, hey, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, Ian Riley called me and said, okay, well, I know you're a little upset right now, but crazy. I know, Tiffany, it could have been worse. I could have, we've all seen that woman who blows up that car and get her groove back.
No. Because, hey, here's how it starts. We've all seen the Jeffrey Dahmer story. It started with small animals out in the forest. Yours starts with a small jersey, and before you know it, 2- and 3-story houses or double units are coming down in a ball of flames. People are walking around wondering why. And you're like, I just started burning a jersey 3 years ago.
Well, the joke's on me, really, because I paid for the jersey. and Wilson doesn't even play for that team for the Seahawks anymore. So I burned a jersey that didn't even matter 3 months after that or something.
Yeah, but while it was going on, I'll bet it felt great.
So here's how my kids know their mom is crazy. So in the future, my ex-husband happened to be on the same plane as the ex-boyfriend. And he sends me a text and says, no need to alarm you, but I think your ex is on this plane that I'm getting on, where we were meeting at the other end to exchange our children. So I was going to be there. And I tell the kids on the way to the airport so they don't freak out because my son's about to cut him, you know. And they saw how sad I was. One of the reasons my kids moved to Vegas is because of the depression that I was in. Anyways, and so we're driving in silence, and Layla goes, "So, can I see the photo? I want to see if his girlfriend's cuter than you." I'm like, "It's my daughter, right?" And then my son comes in and goes, "Yeah, that's him. That's the only shirt mom didn't burn." And I'm like, "And there's my other kid."
Like, oh, you guys know me. You really know me this whole time. I didn't think you were paying attention, but you see everything. I love you so much. Quit looking.
My friend in Texas, he called me and told me I was messed up for burning that jersey too. He's like, "You're acting bananas and you're doing it with your kids there. Like, why are you doing this with your kids there?" And I used to agree with him, but I was finally like, because my son isn't going to treat women this way, and my daughter is not going to be treated this way. So they're going to see how things go with a crazy person.
And you know what? I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, you know, I've never experienced depression, not once in my life, until this whole divorce thing. And so, like, you know, when you're talking about the things you're going through, like, the only thing I could do is hear you until I could actually identify with it. But I mean, like, for about 8 months, I couldn't even get out. I could barely get out of bed. Like, showing up here was like a chore, you know?
Getting out of
So, I
bed
mean,
is the hard part.
watching you like burn that jersey and stuff, and like understanding it now, like there's a whole mindset behind it where in the moment, whatever it may be in the moment, it's like this is centering me right now. So whether or not it's right, I'm centered. And that's the important part.
You were so good about it. You're like, "So, what, Ian, what?" So, well, I'm just letting you know that this is maybe not a good idea. No, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I just thought I would say what I had to say, and if this is what you want to do, you stayed calm the whole time. And I was pissed. You were so calm. Those really
Because
hoodies, they burn
it was
fast.
a good video. It was good content.
Dude, I had hell of people watching that. They were dying.
Like, it was really good content.
Yeah, you may have thought I was crazy, but you were watching.
Right.
All right, you guys, we have your Oktoberfest tickets on the air. We have your Panic at the Disco tickets. KHOP.com has all of your information. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.